As the great Kenny Rogers once said, you got to know when to hold 'em and know when to fold 'em. Your team's down 30 with 5 minutes left. Might be time to sneak out and beat the traffic home. At a house party past 2 a.m., that soiree is finished. Hit the door.
Sorry, we're so late.
Actually, the party is over.
What?
The party is over.
A musician needs to know when the audience has had enough.
I give.
Sorry.
Over the last couple of weeks, the Democrats realized the pandemic's over. Now, I'm not saying COVID is no longer a risk. It certainly is, but not to most of us. The most vulnerable to COVID are the old and the overweight. The people who run the country happen to be just that. I don't mean to offend anybody, but medically speaking, my 10-month-old can crawl faster than members of Congress can run. So they all got scared of getting sick. They made up a bunch of asinine rules to protect themselves and punish everyone else. We were lied to about lockdowns, masks, school closings, and COVID treatments. But this isn't the first time we were sold a big fat lie. When soda was first introduced, it was considered a miracle cure, and it was actually sold at pharmacy counters all across the country. Then later, sugary sodas kill people and make us all diabetic. This is what society does.
15 years ago, they were recommending trans fats. Now they're illegal. Just like almost 100 prescription drugs, which were once called safe and effective and then yanked off the market because they were not. We've had this problem in medicine for a long time. The same people who in private care always say, get a second opinion, want to allow only one in the public debate.
The left's waking up. We kind of shook them awake, but some of them won't admit they ever fell asleep. And there is no bigger hypocrite than maskoid Stacey Abrams, who writes erotic novels and gets All-Star games canceled in her free time. Here she sits around maskless, grinning ear to ear, while literally everybody else in the room was masked up. Read the room, Stacey. She is completely oblivious to the suffering around her. She had to delete that picture and then also deleted other pictures of herself, like this one here, where she's sitting and just smiling while the Allies prepare to invade Normandy. Not a care in the world. But rather than be an adult, her campaign sang this: "It is shameful that our opponents are using a Black History Month reading event for Georgia children as the impetus for a false political attack." So she's going with the Black History Month defense. I thought for sure she'd use the LA mayor defense and claim she wasn't breathing. But hey, at least she didn't compare us to cavemen.
Masks make a difference. The last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it. It still matters.
Do people still trust Biden when it comes to COVID? Well, we wanted to know, so we sent some of our producers out into the streets to find out.
Are you still afraid of the coronavirus?
No, I'm not. It is what it is.
I wouldn't use the word afraid.
No, I really wasn't ever afraid of the coronavirus.
Of course, yeah.
I'm a melanated black man that has the melanation in my skin from the sun rays that protect me from all type of things.
He thinks the sun god will protect him.
Are you vaccinated?
I am vaccinated with a booster.
Yes, plus booster too.
No vaccine, no policy of the president. I don't follow none of their laws.
Are you vaccinated?
Yeah, I have all 3 shots.
Then why are you wearing your mask outside?
We just come in and out of places, so I just keep it on.
It's cold outside. It keeps your face warm.
I'm wearing it right now because you're pretty close to me.
Oh no, too close, too close.
How do you feel about the studies, research that suggests that cloth masks don't work?
As long as you're covering your face with something, at least you're helping.
It was kind of funny in an Italian restaurant the other day. Everybody's right on top of each other. No one's got masks on, but as soon as you get up from the table, you got to put one on. So it's a little silly.
There's like a mask in my pocket, mask in my bag.
What do you think of vaccine mandates?
I think vaccine mandates are a little unconstitutional.
I think unvaccinated people are kind of scary.
How do you feel about vaccine mandates?
I think it's very important. I would not be going into restaurants anywhere if I didn't know that people had to have their card checked when they walked in.
I'm not a doctor or anything, so I'm not a scientist, so I do not know.
Well, if you can still transmit the virus being vaccinated, do you think it makes any difference then?
No, it doesn't. That's a good point.
That's a good point. She is a good point.
Do you trust Dr. Fauci?
I do.
I don't know if he's in somebody's pocket or what his true intentions are.
We got to trust him, right? Because he's the leader over here.
Why, considering he was wrong on masks, the lab leak, lockdowns?
Why? Because who else are we going to listen to?
Who else is there?
He's clearly lying about, gain of function research.
Do you trust Dr. Fauci?
Dr. Fauci, who is that?
Come on, seriously, who is that?
Joe Biden, he promised to shut down the virus. How do you think that's going?
He can't promise anything.
I don't think any one single person has that power.
I'm liberal, but I don't necessarily approve of Biden.
I don't remember him saying that, so I'll just go by your word.
I've said it before. I'm not going to shut down the economy. I'm not going to shut down the country. I'm going to shut down the virus.
I think it is time and that we cannot shut down the country forever.
Joe Biden is not for the people. I don't have any faith in this government.
We've lost faith in the feds, so now it's up to the governors again. Blue states like California gave in to lockdowns and the mandates, and Texas allowed its people to stay free, and the state boomed. Look at that. Here's the good news. All across the country, we're seeing progress on the fight against these mandates, and we're winning. Blue states like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, they're all dropping their school mask mandates. Our kids can breathe again. And remember when you were a child, food on your face, your mom comes over and wipes it off and you squirm like crazy? Mom tried to make you wear a sweater, but you were too hot. It just squished up against your collar and you'd throw a fit. Or girls, your mother went to go brush your hair and it was all knotty. How much that hurt, you'd cry. You wanted to have control over your own head. You didn't want grown-ups fussing all over your face. That was your face. Think about how much suffering these young kids are experiencing with these itchy, suffocating masks on. Breathing all day like a scuba diver. If you're wearing glasses, all fogged up. You can't tell if your classmates are smiling at you or scowling. How do you even know if your jokes are landing? Watching grown-ups prance around with no masks. Children are very keen on fairness. But Mom, Dad, it's not fair. They always tell us that. Nothing is more unfair than the people least likely to be hurt by COVID having to wear masks while the overweight, older people go maskless. Why is it fair you can go maskless at a restaurant but not at a school? So history has a way of sorting out what's right and wrong. You see, the pandemic party is over for the Democrats. Some of them just haven't realized it yet. Too many people can't move on from their sense of moral superiority that the pandemic gave them. They'll forever cling to the power they had to point fingers at faces and ban you from buildings. They found their spot in the COVID social hierarchy, and they don't want to surrender. But they don't have a choice anymore. By speaking your mind and fighting for what's right, you made the choice for them. Thank you, America.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.